going to talk about who are you, really, and why sometimes we feel this kind of disconnect between how we behave in our life and the way in which we feel, and how we think we expect that we should feel or we should behave. You are the outcome of a lot of different things. You are the outcome of your genetic predispositions, which, for example, could be how open to new experiences you are. There are many things that are not really defined, but like you have a kind of blueprint inside that says whether you are predisposed into going towards one direction or to the other, or being a bit more balanced and in the middle. And then the environment in which you grow up makes a really big difference in whether this genetic predisposition can manifest itself in a kind of thriving way, or whether for different reasons you actually go into the opposite direction and you might go really in the opposite way. You might be predisposed to being a social person, but what you learn and your experiences teach you to be introverted and shy and not really trust people. And this happens for all our genetic traits. We have a certain predisposition, but we might learn in our life to go a different direction, which, by the way, takes a lot of energy, because when we tune into our predisposition, that's when we are actually using the least possible energy, because we're really using what we are the most capable of doing, rather than using a lot of energy going against our predisposition to do something entirely different. And we are the outcome of our family and cultural beliefs and rules. And this is very, very, very fundamental in the way that we learn to think, behave, and feel. We are the outcome of the labels that get applied to us throughout our lifetime. We are the outcome of our experiences and learnings, of our chemical balance, which is something we should never forget about. We are the outcome of the modeling that we do of family, society, and so on. We are first and foremost the outcome of our human wiring that we very often forget about. And then we are the outcome of our own awareness, which is the only one I outlined in red, because that's, of all the things that I listed over here, that's the only thing we actually have control upon when we become aware about it. And yet we love bashing ourselves for a bunch of things that are not even on us. I really believe it is important to understand that a lot of the things we believe we are responsible for, we are not. And at the same time, the one thing we are responsible for, sometimes we do not feel that is on us. And that one thing is that we are responsible for our present and for the future that we are going to create. Because even though we're not responsible for our past, even though we're not responsible for the beliefs, for the modeling, for a lot of the things that happen in our past, but the moment you become aware of this, you become responsible for it. That means you become responsible for whatever you do or don't do. To better understand how you function, you're responsible for whatever you do or don't do to make your life better. And the outcomes of this, that's an entirely different discussion. But you are responsible for what you do, for what you don't do. And when you notice that you're not capable of doing something you want to do, then you are responsible to understand the whys, so that ultimately you are capable of doing it. And I do believe that each one of us as human beings have this power. So the main reason why we often meet or like crash against the wall when trying to do all this is that we have been taught a fundamentally flawed piece of information. We have been taught the model of the monomind instead of what has been proven by scientific evidence is the reality of how we function, which is the model of the multimind. And you have been taught that you're one, that there is one mind, one individual, one personality, one one, just one, while you are many. And it's not surprising that when you try to understand or change things around from this understanding that you're one, it doesn't really work that well when in reality you're many.